So how did you know when it was the right time to start moving into it full time? I mean, there's a lot of things to consider there, right? I mean, a lot of founders I speak with are, doing their, it's a side hustle. It's the thing that they're doing on the side that they want to eventually do full time. But that's always a big question. Like, how do you know when it's right? Is it purely down to money, or are there other factors that you guys considered before making that decision?
So I think if it was purely down to money, we would still be working.
Right. Fair enough.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
No, I think the main element is so we were starting to see a big enthusiasm from the community. Like, people were starting to talk about us. We started to see this organic growth building up. The community started to be a bit more vibrant, like exchanging different things on Discord. And so we could see that people were really looking forward to see more elements. And as we were getting bigger on the community side, we started to have more paying customers, which mean also more services, like customer services, that we needed to do during that time, fixing bugs when that happened. And we had the vision of going for the TwitchCon Paris, which was kind of a big decision because first, it's not cheap to go there, and also that we were kind of expecting that would be most probably the first pillar to start a bigger growth, or at least making sure that people were aware of that product.
Yeah. So you had an exhibit there, right? You didn't just attend to. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the main problem we had is that before, I would say before 2023, no one was ever thinking about having this kind of thing in chats. It didn't exist before, so when we started, people couldn't understand what it was doing. We had a hard time to explain it to people, so we were more inclined to say, just try it out and you'll see how it works. Now it's started to be a bit easier for us to kind of explain how it is, and people already expect this type of elements in their chat. We still see a lot of people against AI as well, where basically they just don't want to see that in chat because just hate AIs, and so it's just going completely sideways every time they encounter one in a chat. So we knew that.
That's interesting that there's already prejudice against artificial intelligence.
Yeah. And it is actually bigger than I thought. We already thought that we would have few occurrence of that, but as soon as you have a community or a streamer which has more than, let's say, 20 viewers, at least you can be sure there is one in there who is not happy about AI. And it helps to kind of explain. So usually the streamers that both sign up for Alicia and have this type of people in the chat will have the right words to kind of explain how it works. And we also have the option for the streamer to exclude this user from Alicia's view, so she's not going to interact with them. And for we just suggest you can just block the user as you would for any other user in Twitch, and so you won't see her messages. And that's how it works.
Interesting. Yeah, but what is it they don't like about it? Is it just that AI so artificial?
I think there is a bit of fear because there is kind of imaginary of AI from some movies where it's this kind of things that can go sideways and become terrible.
Right.
Maybe there are some people there is kind of fear that this AI are coming to replace people, and so they're not very happy with it.
Or take their data or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, or take the jobs, or and now they're invading their hobbies. So they're giving this kind of, I can recognize it's an AI, and so it's annoying. Even though, of course we recognize AIs. It's just some people take longer to recognize this as an AI. So we have so many occurrences of people chatting with Alicia for 30 minutes and then saying, "Oh, by the way, are you real or an AI?" Because sometimes your answers are confusing.
Yeah. That's interesting. So just to sort of take a step back for a minute, then, it was originally created for the reason you mentioned, right? You needed that. You thought about that assistance in starting to build that community. So, but that's one use case. But presumably, Alicia can help with all Twitch streamers, right? This isn't just for those just starting out to help building a community. So this is someone who's actively participating in the chat on behalf of the streamer, regardless of the size of the streamer. So typically, let's say a bigger streamer, what kind of interactions are they generally doing? Because if, generally a streamer will be talking with the community as they go. So what is the need of having someone else in the chat? I mean, I'm asking this predominantly. While I kind of understand that, I imagine there's a lot of people who are listening and watching that don't understand Twitch, and they're not too familiar with they're familiar with the idea of streaming, but not maybe to that level. So what's the benefits of a streamer also having someone engaging in the chat if they're already engaging with the chat verbally or while they're doing whatever it is they're doing, playing a game, etc.?
Yeah. So first, I think there is different tier, if you want. So right. there is a part where for us we see like the biggest addition is when you will be between 0 or 1 to 100 viewers, and that is going to help you have more engagement in chat or more people talking, specifically when you do something else. If there is interaction from the streamer, the Alicia is also going to interact with the streamer, so the conversation is going to be just additionally with more messages, and so they can basically react or spark new conversation, because sometimes Alicia is just going to suggest different things or bounce back to a different subject. Can kind of help to keep the conversation going and make sure that even the streamer will not get how to say that, but not having enough things to say, kind of.
Right,
it's going to spark this new conversation. When you go above 100, 200, 300 viewers, usually you have already a very active chat, or at least for most streamers from this size. And what we realize is there is streamers that will be actively reading the chats, and others that will basically be focusing more on what they are doing and just speaking few messages, not interacting with everyone. So during, if they pick just few messages, Alicia is going to be there to interact with the messages that hasn't been picked up, and so it keeps those people still interested in the chat, and so they will still send messages, even if it's with Alicia or to the viewers, to other viewers, or to the streamer. So it keeps the things going. When you go above that, let's say 1,000, 2,000, that's basically where for us Alicia it's just going to be a fun part. People will mess around with her. It's going to be sending word messages, and it's going to be just a source of fun for the viewers in chats. And usually the streamer won't be even able to read all the messages that has been sent during that time. So it's more for the viewers to keep the chat interactive, and so people can still kind of mess around during that time. The way we see that in the future is also how we can help a streamer partner to basically support them while they are doing branded content. So let's say, for example, they're selling, or not selling, but they do a partnership with, let's say, a camera. And so there is different feature about it. There is a specification and all of this. And so they will be talking about it at first. But during the chat, you might have viewers coming in, coming out, just changing. So they won't have every information as a streamer just said it. And it would be nice to basically have someone in chat, like Alicia, to have all this information, being able to spot the different questions and answer it directly in chat. So they won't need to be focusing that much to make sure that all the information from the brand will be dispensed in the chat at that time.
Okay. And does it perform any kind of moderations as well or anything? Or is that more of an idea for later on? Because of I know a lot of Twitch streamers do have moderators in their chat and people that they hire in their staff. So is that also another element of it, or not quite yet?
Not yet, but it is definitely down the line. We started to look into it and how to do that. The main problem with moderation is depending on the community, on the streamer, on the usual vibes of the stream. It is hard to say if something has been said. Some things that has been said is harmful or not. Right. So you need to have some insight. So currently we're more looking into having the ability for Alicia to time out, which is a different element than ban. When you ban someone, it's banned from the channel for quite a long time. Time out is like, hey, calm down. Just
go and sit on the naughty step kind of thing. Yeah, exactly.
The Founders Unplugged podcast, hosted by Greg McCallum. Raw, uncensored conversations with startup founders.